Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is part 2 of day 108 of the 365 days Bible reading challenge. That is if you're watching me from TikTok. If you're watching from the YouTube channel, that is Pastor Nesh Ministries. This should be episode 141. And we continue with the journey of David. We are in 1 Samuel. We are reading the book 1 Samuel, and we have read up to chapter 27, and we are breaking it with some of the psalms that were written by David at around this time. You know, when he's running away from King Saul and hiding from King Saul. You know, King Saul is out to destroy him. King Saul is out to kill him. King Saul is out to do him harm, and he is running away. He's hiding in the land of the Philistines. We are told for 1 year and 4 months, almost 1.5 years, he was in the land of the Philistines, and he was there. And while he was there, he was writing a few psalms. And so today we are reading Psalm number 17, Psalm number 35, Psalm number 54, and Psalm number 63. And so in the first part of this episode, that is for this day, that is day 108, we have read Psalm number 17 and Psalm number 35, and now we want to read on as even we go to Psalm number 54 and Psalm number 63. In Psalm number 17 and Psalm number 35, we have heard David telling God, to rise against his enemies, and he tells God that he himself has kept himself and say that his mouth will not speak wickedly. His mouth will not also, curse himself. There are people who, when they are in trouble, they also curse themselves. There are people who, when they are in trouble, they curse people that should help them. And David says, I will not do that. David says, my mouth will not rise against, we have not seen, even if David knows that King Saul is the one that is pursuing him, we have not seen him, speaking against him, speaking wickedly against him, or mudslinging him, or what we would call painting him black before God. No. We have not seen him do that because David understood protocol. The only person we have seen him, I think, speaking against was Abner. And it is because Abner was supposed to protect his master, that is King Saul, but he was not able to do so. So David asked him, what are you for? Why are you even beside your master, that is Saul? Because you are supposed to keep him and you have not kept him, So that is the only person we see David speaking against, directly. And maybe another person that maybe David wanted to attack was that fool Nabal, the fool that refused to help him. But the wife of Nabal, that is Abigail, that's Realtor, became the wife of David in the same chapter. For those that have missed, please go back and check. For those that have missed, so Abigail, the same chapter became, the wife of David, because God, 10 days after Nabal refused to help David, God killed Nabal 10 days after. So after that, David took Abigail and she became his wife. Now, so we have not seen anybody else that David is speaking directly against, because, as I say, David understands that this is more of a spiritual battle than it is a physical battle. So we continue reading Psalm number 54. The reason I have spoken too much or a little bit more is because these are very short psalms. Psalm 63 has 11 verses. Psalm 54 has just 7 verses, and we will be done. So we continue reading. Psalm number 54 verse 1, the Bible says, to the chief musician on Neginoth, Maskil, a psalm of David, when the Ziphims came and said to Saul, doth not David hide himself with us? And it says, so this tells you that David was not the only one. Maybe David was singing, but there were some other people who were writing it down, okay? So, because we hear some people being mentioned, because like this one says, to the chief musician, that is, to the chief musician on Neginoth, and his name is Maschil, and we have seen him being mentioned again in another psalm. And then we are told that this is a psalm of David. So this means that maybe David was singing, and then Maschil was writing down the song. I don't know. I am not a Bible expert, but I'm just thinking that maybe this is what was happening. So, and the song goes, or the psalm goes, "Save me, O God, by thy name, and judge me by thy strength." Verse 2 says, "Hear my prayer, O God, give ear to the words of my mouth." Verse 3 says, "For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set God before them." Selah. You just let the instruments play. That is what I say. Selah is where you sing a little bit or a verse, and then or a chorus, and then you let the music, the instruments, play. Verse 4 says, "Behold, God is mine helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul." Verse 5 says, "He shall reward evil unto mine enemies, cut them off in thy truth." Verse 6 says, I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name, O Lord, for it is good. Verse 7 says, and this is the last verse of Psalm 54, says, "For he hath delivered me out of all trouble, and mine eye hath seen his desire upon mine enemies." So these are some of David. David is singing, David is worshiping God, and there's something I wanted to say, and I think it has skipped my mind. I don't know if I will remember it later. And I've remembered it. So we are told that this is a song that David sang when the sons of Zephim, or when the Zephims, this is like a tribe, came and told Saul, this is like a tribe of the Canaanites that came and told Saul that David is hiding in our place. David is hiding in our county. David is hiding in our place, in our forest there. And so David sang this. We go now to Psalm number 63, which is our last psalm for today. This has about 11 verses. And Psalm 63 verse 1, the Bible says, "A psalm of David when he was in the wilderness of Judah." Okay, so it tells you that this psalm was actually written at around that time when David was hiding in the wilderness of Judah. And it says, verse 1, "O God, thou art my God, early will I seek thee, my soul thirsteth for thee, my flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land, where no water is." Verse 2 says, "To see thy power and thy glory, so as I have seen thee in the sanctuary." Verse 3 says, "Because thy loving kindness is better than life, my lips shall praise thee." Verse 4 says, "Thus will I bless thee while I live. I will lift up my hands in thy name. My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness, and my mouth shall praise thee with joyful lips. When I remember thee upon my bed, and meditate on thee in the night watches, because thou hast been my help, therefore in the shadow of thy wings will I rejoice." Verse 8 says, "My soul followeth hard after thee, thy right hand upholdeth me." Verse 9 says, "But those that seek my soul to destroy shall go into the lower part of the earth." Verse 10 says, "They shall fall by the sword, they shall be a portion for foxes." Verse 11, which is the last verse of Psalm number 63, says, "But the king shall rejoice in God. Everyone that sweareth by him shall glory, but the mouth of them that speak lies shall be stopped." Praise the name of the Lord. Another time we hear David talking about people speaking lies, that informs us that maybe there were people that were giving false statements against him, people that were giving false witness against him, and this was hurting him, this was hurting his heart. With us said and done, with that read and done, dear ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the readings for today. And join me tomorrow even as we continue with the journey. Today we were just reading Psalms. We were reading a few Psalms. We were reading Psalms 17, Psalms 35, Psalms 54, and Psalms 63. And I believe you have gotten blessed. With that said and done, join me tomorrow as we continue with the journey. May God bless you. May God keep you. May God lift you higher than I am. And until tomorrow, shalom, and keep the faith.